Hello and welcome to Near Dark Podcast. Today we are gonna talk about the Babadook from 2014. But before we do that, let's introduce the rest of today's entourage.
I thought you were gonna say crew, but okay.
I forgot the word crew existed, okay?
Wow.
That sounded pretty epic, though.
But
Right,
as
So we're changing crew to Entourage, alright? Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Anyways.
And as you may have heard, today with us we have Joseph and Angel, and me as your host, Zombie.
Yo.
But before we jump into anything else, how is everyone doing today?
Alright. It's cold as shit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm good. A bit tired, but I've been up since like 8. 8 this morning, so...
Lovely.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, no, I got back from a walk like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, I've been out in the fresh, cold fucking weather. It's disgusting.
So refreshing. The winter
yeah.
is here.
Oh, yeah. How are you doing, Zombie?
I'm doing great. Just got off of work. But otherwise I'm doing
Poggers.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That adult stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love it.
Gotta get
Oh,
money,
yeah.
money.
Oh yeah. That weekend money.
Hell yeah.
Especially now that it's what's the word I'm looking for?
Holidays.
No. It's money related.
Oh, money, Oh,
L-
stroke.
Loan.
Fuck.
Yeah, right.
It's not
I get-
allowance.
I get work money this week is all I'm gonna say at that.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Work money. Hooray.
Yay.
We all had a collective stroke right there.
Yes.
Salary.
Yeah, salary,
Yes.
that was the word. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We're professionals.
It's salary
here. We know
week.
what we're talking about.
So that's also pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Has anyone watched anything good lately?
Yeah.
Do share with the class.
So me and Gray had a week where we basically just binge watched Arnie movies.
Oh.
So I introduced him
Nice.
to some new Arnie movies he's never watched, which includes True Lies, Aneurysm, True
That's
Lies
about it.
with Arnie and what's her face? Jamie Lee Curtis. It's funny seeing her in something else than being Laurie Strode.
Like you're not used to it. It's like Harry Potter all over again.
Yeah. It's like seeing Daniel Radcliffe in something else than Harry Potter. And we watched Junior, a comedy about a man that gets pregnant. Arnie gets pregnant, which is kind of funny. Total Recall. Good shit, good shit. Last Action Hero. Not as good as I remembered it to be, but still a good watch. And Kindergarten Cop.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor at all. I love Arnie. Is this? Yeah, no. So we binge watched some Arnie movies because none of us wanted to watch any horror related.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, let's watch some good old Arnie. But yeah, that's all I've been watching. Cause other than that, I'm gonna repeat myself and say, oh yeah, I'm continuing watching that one show.
Criminal Minds.
Yeah, Criminal Minds. I'm still stuck. I'm on season 10, end of season 10 now. So I'm slowly getting to the end.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit season 11 pretty soon.
nice.
Yeah.
There were like 15 seasons of that.
It's
show, right?
15 seasons, yeah. It
Yeah.
ended last year, actually.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like, if like after 10, you should just quit.
Yeah, most series, like, most shows, they die after season 10. Like, you can only do so much.
Yeah, like what's the more to like do
Mm-hmm.
at that point?
I mean, they're still keeping it pretty fresh, considering it's been already 10 seasons I've watched, but they keep on surprising me.
Yeah,
Sure, some...
If it-
Yep.
it just feels like there's only so much character development that's interesting to see.
Yeah, and, like, different killers and stuff, like, there's only so many, like, how to say, like, so many ways you can kill people and still keep it interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
But yeah, they're...
well, speaking of long-running shows,
Mm.
the fuck was that show called?
no clue.
I think it was Days of Our Lives or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a show that has been running since like the 60s and it's still running. I don't know
Wha-
how many seasons there are, but
Let it die. Like it needs to retire.
57 seasons.
yeah.
Okay, they gotta be like, they start with a family and then just follow their fucking grandkids or whatever.
That show, season wise, is soon to retire. Like what?
Jesus Christ.
Well, there you have a series to watch if you.
Hey, I know what we're gonna get Mother for next Christmas.
Give her just one season at a time, or 2 seasons at a time.
If,
For like
if,
5 se-
if Angel were to watch the series, she would be like in 2 years. Yeah, I'm on season 23 right now. I'm almost done with season 23.
For real though. Oh, and every episode is about an hour long.
Oh, fucking hell.
Chronicle of the lives, loves, trials, and tributes of the citizens of the fictional city of Salem. Alright.
Yeah.
4,936 episodes.
That's. What did you say? 946.
Yeah, 4,936.
Oh shit! You said 4,000. Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
That's like
My
2 or 3 months worth of just watching a series.
The
Could be done in a year.
It's been going for 58 years.
Yeah.
With
They're-
dedication.
They're closing in on 60 years.
How are the people not tired of doing it?
Hey, if you get money to do something, and it's good money, I'm pretty sure you're gonna stick with it.
I think they've changed the crew a couple of times during the years.
I mean, they must have.
Yeah.
Nominated for 4 Primetime Emmys, 231 wins, and 507 nominations. Jesus.
Oh my god.
You're all welcome to the Days of Our Lives podcast, episode 76. Alright, I've been watching a couple of things since we last recorded, me and you, Zombie.
Yeah.
I finally sat down and rewatched the 3 first Hatchet movies, and I also
Good shit.
I also saw the 4th one, Victor Crowley, for the very first time. I've been a fan of the first Hatchet movie since I saw it back in 2010, I think, or if it was 2009, I can't remember. Part 2 and 3 were better than I remember them to be honest. I had a lot of fun rewatching them and watching Victor Crowley. They're completely stupid, all of them, but they're a lot of fun. Super, extremely gory, very juvenile humor, and they're up my alley. I really like those movies. They're stupid but fun. I know you've seen them at some point, Angel.
I watched them twice. I'm gonna introduce Gray to them after we finish, probably finish Alien.
Yeah, you really should.
Yeah.
How far along are you on Alien?
We're still stuck on the third movie. It's just like, it takes some time getting around to watching. Like, I love the first and the second movie, but it's kind of like getting the thumb out of the ass to watch the third one. But I want to watch like the new ones. Sure, they aren't as good as the first few, but still,
Yeah.
yeah.
The next couple of things I've been I've been rewatching them. Was the Howling franchise. I still got the last one, the Howling Reborn, to rewatch, but from what I remember, it's not good, and I've read a couple of reviews that states that it's sort of like Twilight, but with werewolves instead of vampires. So I'm not looking forward to that. But like I said, I watched the 7 first movies, and holy fucking shit, the first movie is not great, but it's decent. It's well made. It's made by Joe Dante, who did the Gremlins movies and Piranha from '78, I think. It's based on a novel by the same name, The Howling. And funny enough, the 4th movie in the Howling series is called Howling 4, The Original Nightmare.
Wow.
And the 1st and 4th movies are both based on the same novel, but the 4th movie is more true to the source material. Part 2 and 3 is based on the sequels to the novel, Howling 2 and Howling 3. I don't know how much they got to do with the novels, really, because Part 2, in which Christopher Lee appears in, actually, you can really tell that the movie was rewritten from a vampire movie to a werewolf movie. Christopher Lee is great in it, but the movie sucks because it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. The 3rd one is a PG-13 werewolf movie, and it tries to be a comedy, but nothing makes any sense. All jokes just falls flat, and it's a bore-a-thon. I was so fucking bored while I was rewatching that crap. Part 4, like I said, it's based on the novel, and the first novel, and it's a slow movie, but towards the end when things starts to pick up, it gets pretty good. The effects are amazing. Amongst things, you get a melting body, which looks great. Part 5, Howling 5, The Rebirth. It's a slow movie, and the premise of the movie is basically that there's a group of tourists that gets to a castle in Budapest, and they soon find themselves stalked and bumped off by a werewolf. So it's kind of a slasher movie, but instead of a masked maniac, you got a werewolf that lurks in the shadows. Most of the kills are off screen, unfortunately, but if you can take the slow burn approach in the film and just go with the flow with the movie, it's not a good movie, but it's at least tolerable, I'd say. The sixth movie is called Howling 6, The Freaks, and it introduces a vampire played by Bruce Payne, who appeared in Passenger 57 together with Wesley Snipes, and he also were in Warlock 3. And I remember that movie to be a lot better than it turned out to be. It's 100 minutes and it was 20 minutes too long, I'd say. It's just a lot of padding and bullshit that wasn't necessary to the story, really. And part 7, Howling New Moon Rising. Oh my god. It might be a contender for the #1 worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Ooh, that's saying something.
Yeah. It's written, produced, and directed by a guy called Clive Turner, I think his name was. And he was involved in part 3, 4, and 5. And in part 7 he tries to connect part 4, 5, and 6. Even though each movie is a standalone movie, they don't have anything to do with the other installments in the franchise. But he tries to...
That sounds like a train wreck.
Yeah. And the movie is basically rednecks and hillbillies walking around drinking beer and making dad jokes and dancing to country music.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it's it's a test of your patience. But yeah, that's I hopefully will never rewatch that movie ever again. It's bad. It's really, really bad.
And meanwhile, you come back in like 2 years and be like, oh yeah, I rewatched this one movie that, and it's like, oh yeah, it sucked ass. I think I'm never gonna watch it again. Meanwhile, returns again a few years later, like, yes, I watched it.
Yeah.
Been there, done that several times.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Angel, have you watched the Howling franchise?
No, I don't like werewolf movies besides Ginger Snaps.
Okay, you're not a fan of Dog Soldiers either, or?
No. I know I've watched it with you once, and I didn't like it back then.
You should give it another shot. It's really good. The effects are amazing in that movie. But yeah, like I said, I still got the 8th and last movie in the franchise to rewatch. I'll come back to that on the next episode, I guess. And that's everything I've seen, I think. Me and Tigris, I think we still got one episode of Chucky left to watch to be up to date with the season.
So on a side note, when are we gonna cover Twilight?
Never.
It might be a good April Fool's movie to watch.
Ah yes, We're gonna watch this one terrifying horror movie. It's Twilight.
I think I'd rather sit down and watch grass grow.
I think I'd rather sit down and bleach my eyes.
Hey now, you've watched The Bleeder and survived.
I actually never watched The Bleeder.
I've seen it 3 fucking times.
So you can survive this one.
The Bleeder is terrible. But I actually think I'd rather rewatch The Bleeder than rewatching Howling New Moon Rising. To be honest.
Is that a challenge?
It's a test of your patience. Yeah,
Well
but that's everything I've seen since we last recorded, I think at least.
I'm gonna be real quick while you do the rest.
Okay then. In that case, shall we start with the trailer? Because, as always, I have no movies to watch.
Yes. I picked out one of the trailers because it seems like there were different trailers depending on where you lived. So I picked out the US #1 trailer for the Babadook.
Lovely.
Where'd you get this?
On the shelf.
If it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. A rumbling sound, then 3 sharp knocks.
Babadook, duk, duk.
That's when you'll know he's around. You'll see him if you look. Nothing bad's gonna happen, Sam.
Did you think that about my dad before he died?
He sees things as they are, that one.
I promised to protect you if you promised to protect me.
Oh my God. Did he hurt anyone?
The boy has significant behavioral problems.
This monster thing has got to stop, all right? It's just a book. It can't hurt you.
You alright?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
You don't have to be fine, you know.
Just a bit stressed at the moment.
All children see monsters.
Not like this. I want to report someone stalking me and my child.
You can't get rid of the Babadook.
You can bring me the boy. You can bring me the boy. You can bring me the boy.
I'm sick, Sam. It isn't real. It isn't real. It isn't real.
A single mother and her child fall into a deep well of paranoia when an eerie children's book titled Mr. Babadook manifests in their home. That is the synopsis pulled straight from IMDb, to not take any credit. But yeah, considering Angel is still away, shall we wait for her? Or
Yeah. Let's.
okay, so I would like to hear Angel, because she hasn't been on an episode in a while.
Alright, so I actually think this is a hard movie to watch, not because it's scary, but So like, it's very clear to me that the kid is suffering from most likely autism, and the mother is still grieving her lost husband, and she is still in the face of denial even though it's been 7 years. And like, it's hard to watch. Like, I get a hard time breathing while watching this movie. This is my, I think, 3rd time watching it. I don't remember what I thought about it before, because this is a movie, like, I've completely suppressed any memory of it. Going into it, all I remember, the kid is autistic, and the ending of the movie. That's all I remembered.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie, but it's a good movie. If that makes
It's
sense.
very real.
Yeah, it's like, if you know someone with a kid that has autism, it's very real. And I think, normally I say when a dog is in a movie, the dog is the best actor. Not this time. I'm gonna say that the kid is the best actor. Because he really and truly acts like he can see this thing. He's trying to protect his mother. And like, the screaming fights they have, it's so real. And the kid, like, a kid of that age, like, he must have been 6, 7, 8 somewhere when acting in this movie.
He was 6.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's like, getting a kid to act, because he's a main character. Like, getting a kid to act that well and perform that well, that's hard to find.
It was very, like, genuine, that, like, the way he acted.
Yeah, like, I think a masterpiece of showing what a diagnose is without saying that there is one. And just like, when they have a screaming fight in the car and she just screams at him, why can't you be normal? Or like, why won't you just be normal? Like,
wow, now I feel like a fucking piece of shit now.
like,
because while I was rewatching this with Tiger, it was a rewatch for me as well. And I watched it together with Tiger. It was his first time seeing it. And during these scenes when he's just screaming at the top of his lungs, I was like, man, I would push that kid into oncoming traffic if I got a chance. And I never had a thought about him having a diagnosis, but now I feel like a piece of shit.
I mean,
I can totally agree with you. His performance is solid on all levels.
Yeah,
but the character really got on my tits. It's
I mean, like, I can say like this. I agree. I would have pushed that kid into oncoming traffic any day of the week, because he is extremely frustrating. My ears hurt after all his screaming, and I was just like, I was really annoyed with it. But at the same time, I can understand the way he's acting because of the fact that he has a diagnosis. It's just that she won't get him, like she won't get him checked for it.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe that he has a problem. She just thinks that, oh, he's like any other kid, but not any other kid would act that way, because he screams for nothing. He screams for his mother's attention constantly. He has an overactive imagination, and I'm pretty sure that's why the Babadook is like basically attaching itself to them. They have this grief that is just sitting there, and she won't deal with it. She won't go see someone about it. She won't get medications for it. She won't talk to anyone about losing her husband. She even pushes her son aside, like, he's born on the same day his father dies. So it's
Yeah.
a double anniversary, but she won't celebrate his birthday on his actual birthday because she's still grieving, because she won't move on. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can be sad 7 years after someone passes. Fuck, it's been over 2 years. I'm still sad about my dog passing. But I have to go on every day. Yeah, I'm sad on her anniversary. But I'm still going on every day because me being sad about it, it's not gonna change anything.
Yeah, and like, sure, she says, I don't talk about him anymore, but that's not fixing the problem, and I think that,
That is basically the
Like-
real problem. She should talk
Yeah.
about him to vent her feelings
Yeah.
and her, her thoughts about what
yeah,
happened.
Yeah, just like be honest that, oh, this is a really tough time for me. Yes, I'm very sad about it because I am missing my husband.
and work through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she's completely in denial. She won't accept that he's dead. She won't just fuck all. Like,
Yeah, and this may be me like theorizing that it may also be that the dad had a diagnosis or something, which is why her child is very similar to him. In that, like, in like the ending, she talks about how he is like his dad, and that made it like she might not like a lot of what he does because what he does reminds her of him.
yeah, that's most likely.
Which is part of like the denial that she can't embrace the things like just like his dad, like,
Yeah.
but is more like very annoyed that he does the things he does.
Yeah. And like, there's actually medically confirmed that men that suffers from a diagnose most often passes it along to their offspring because like from male to male it's stronger.
Yeah.
So that's most likely what's going on. Like his dad probably had something, and then the kid is suffering from the same thing. But she is in complete denial about it, so she won't get him help or seek out the help that is needed for him.
Yeah.
Because she won't deal with the grief, and it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But moving on from the main characters, the main villain.
oh yeah, the monster himself, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Babadook. What do you think of him?
Concept-wise, I like the idea of him. Whenever you see him on Scream and the way they portray him with the book and the shots of him, it made me freak out a little bit. Like, he kind of got under my skin.
Yeah.
The art they made of him, really top notch. Like, I like the art
Oh, yeah.
art style they put together, such and so forth. But
Like, it's very believable to be a children's book
yeah,
character.
it is. Ugh. Like whenever he's crawling on the roof and shit.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's believable that it's a child's book and everything like that. It's, I don't know how to say it. Like, I think the idea of him is good. I just don't like, how to say it. Like, yeah, no, it's good. I just have a
They
hard
may
time
not
with
have
it.
executed it as well as they could have.
Yeah, that might be it.
Is-
I think Mr. Babadook reminded, or well, he reminded at least me of those old German expressionist horror movies from the 20s and 30s, or early 30s.
I mean-
He reminded me a bit of the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, how the sets are made up in that movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I think the movie is set like somewhere between 1980 and early 2000s if you look at like the way she dresses for work.
Yeah, and her car and
Yeah.
Didn't they have cell phones in this movie? I think so.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it must be like early 2000s then.
I don't remember what kind of phone she had. Did she have a flip phone or
If
something?
it was a flip phone, it was set in the early 2000s, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the flip phones was really popular back then.
Yeah, I do remember her phone looking old at the very least.
Yeah.
So it might be early 2000.
Yeah.
Sounds correct.
And I just must say, like, for side characters, I loved the old lady next door. Like, she seems
Oh,
so
yeah.
nice and kind. I was like, oh my god, I love this woman.
And
We-
she's such a sweet lady.
yeah,
so
like
caring.
we need to protect her for all that's good work. Like, but at the same time, her sister is a massive cunt. Her sister's friends are massive cunts. Her sister's child is a massive fucking double cunt. Like,
Well, she's a child.
she's still a cunt.
Childs are dicks.
Well, there's the thing that
Or kids,
there's
we should say.
kid dickiness. That's just regular kids being like the regular amount of dick, and then there's her going out of her way of being extra dickish.
Yeah. Like,
And I think she very well has gotten it from her mother.
oh yeah. When kids act like that, they always get it from the parents.
Because like there's one thing about kids being like kids and being like very honest about things, but she went on her way to like knowingly hurt him
Yeah.
for being in a place that she like you can't be here, blah blah blah, and then goes out on this tangent.
Yeah, and like, even if you don't like someone's child, you should never say it in front
Say-
of other kids or in front of or
Your sister.
yeah, or like in
Like-
front of the kid themselves. Like, she's already struggling, and you saying shit like that is not gonna help.
Yeah, like, sure, she's trying to be like, you need to move on, like, this isn't good for you, but at the same time, like, the moment the kid does anything, she's like, your little demon spawn.
Basically,
What
yeah.
did he do? Like, turns a coin like that.
Yeah, it's just not okay.
And, like, she,
Gone.
like, I don't know how deep their relationship goes, but the second she like calls very worried, like we might have a stalker, and she's like, well, I can't help you, click, basically.
Yeah,
Like, not even listen to her, like,
it's,
let her talk about this worry, but nah, your kid made my kid have stitches, so you bye.
yeah. Basically, it's a fucking bra moment for the whole movie. How much of a cunt she is.
Yeah. Like, if anyone, she should know that her sister is struggling.
Yeah, it's I don't like her. She's a cunt.
No. But, what would you rate it as a whole?
Oh, what would I rate it?
That's a hard one, right?
Yeah, I would rate it probably like, for the realism, I would say like a 5. It's freaky in the right way, and the art style they use is good. The idea is good. It's not scary. It just hits a little bit too close to home, basically.
Yeah.
That in itself
Like-
can be scary as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you recognize things in a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
Like they aren't like over the top and things like you can just ha ha, you stupid. But it's like this character looks genuinely scared in a situation where like if you were put in it, you would be genuinely scared and react the same way. And they aren't like extremely brave about it. They like the moments of bravery these people have in the movie is like equally filled with fear.
Yeah.
And they are simply brave because they are fed up.
Yeah, like the
And, like-
then when she starts a screaming fight with the monster.
Yeah, like that's just pure instinct of like a mother that almost had her child taken, and
Yeah.
that is like that adrenaline shock that was needed.
Yeah, to me it's like, why don't you go get help when you realize that, oh hey, I was just about to kill my own child because I'm so sleep deprived.
Yeah,
It's just,
I think that her not getting help is still part of like the whole thing.
yeah, like the whole grieving part, and like society is still telling you like, oh, you should
Yeah.
like you should be fine, you shouldn't have to seek out help, blah 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 blah. And I think a part of that is also like her sister being a bit of a cunt because her family is perfect, her friends are perfect, shit like that. Oh, so if her sister seeks out help, yeah.
Yeah, that, like, combined with the fact that... Wait a second. I think it's a combination of the fact that... Of all of those factors that you said earlier. And the fact that, like, I think... To some degree, the Babadook does something to her that makes her not get help. She did go to the police at the very least, like, early on. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she did.
And the doctor.
The
I-
great
I-
idea.
I like the cop in the background, which I can't remember what she says to the cop at the.
She like talked about how someone gave her a children's book.
Yeah, and he's like, oh! in the background.
Yeah. Like, not instilling confidence, my dude.
and the cop at the desk like turns around and just looks at him.
Yeah.
Enforcing that good confidence right there, like, yes, police is here to help us. Yes.
Yeah. But, moving on, Joseph. If you have said your piece, if you...
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, nice.
I don't have that much to say about it really because Angel basically said everything I had to say, plus the diagnose stuff which I didn't think about.
Yeah.
But
Push him into moving traffic.
like I said, this was a rewatch for me as well. I saw this. I think it was around the time it was first released on home video back in 2014. So I went back and read my old review of it. And apparently I thought it was too slow paced and kind of boring, and that it concentrated it too much on the psychological side of things. But that was 7 years ago, so my opinion has changed on the movie.
Like, I feel like that is the whole basis of the movie.
Yeah.
And if one thing there's too much of like what the basis of the movie is, like it's like I don't think you got the movie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was like I said, that was 7 years ago. So
Yeah,
my-
Joseph
my-
was a wee baby child then.
well, yeah, with a But yeah, I actually enjoyed the movie a lot more this time around, knowing sorta what I would, expect of the film. I don't think it's especially scary like Angel, but it got a really interesting twist to the typical haunted house movie. And besides the kid who played Sam, Noah Weissman is his name. I think Essie Davis, who played Amelia, the mother in the movie, her performance is top notch as well.
Yeah.
But one thing that I must have thought about some other movie or something, because and this is a spoiler for those who hasn't seen the movie. I remembered that the haunting in the Babadook was gonna turn out to be, just be all in Amelia's head. Like her breakdown during the movie is making her think that there is a demon in the house or something like that. That was what I remembered. But then when the ending came, I was like, "What the hell?" So
It was real.
yeah. Well, I must have thought about some other movie from around the same time. I don't know, but yeah, the ending actually surprised me this time around.
Yeah.
And like I said, I saw the movie together with Tagger, and we actually laughed a couple of times of unintentional comedic things that happens in the film. For instance, when Sam tells a complete stranger that his dad lives in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Or
Like-
or when Amelia, when the Babadook has possessed her, she stumbles down the cellar stairs because of Sam's trap. So she slams her face into the concrete wall before she tumbles down the rest of the stairs, which sent both me and Jagger into a fit of laughter. It was absolutely hilarious.
It was good. It was good stuff right there.
Like, the kids' traps somehow worked
Yeah.
to a degree. And that was glorious.
Yeah, we laughed out loud during that scene. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie a lot more this time around. Do I think it is a masterpiece? No. But it's a good modern horror movie with a deep psychological twist to it.
Yeah.
And I think Angel did a really good analysis of the film. Actually, that's why I didn't say that much during her.
Yeah.
This is like why I actually wanted to sit in and that we pushed the recording a whole fucking week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's just, I just miss Doggy.
But my rating will be a little bit higher than Angel's, though. I will give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Nice.
If we recorded this episode back in 2014, I would have probably given it a 2, perhaps 3.
Yeah, and we would have ripped you a new one.
But I was an asshole back in 2014, so it doesn't matter.
Who wasn't an asshole back in 2014?
Oh, yeah.
Like, bruh.
So, what are your thoughts about your pick, Zombie?
Well, I'll start with the reason of why I picked it, which is because of... which we'll go deeper about on in the trivia. But because of during a summer camp that was like queer related, and I was talking to a person that has had the icon of the Babadook like in a rainbow form, and they talked about how much they loved the Babadook, which got me interesting to watch it. Like, I didn't know what it was about, but because of their genuine passion about it, I got very interested to watch it. And, well, it wasn't what I expected. Not bad, but, like, yeah, it was very... I don't watch a lot of, like, haunted, like, creature house movies, but it was nice. I liked the, like Angel, the concept and the idea of the Babadook. Like, it fit very well in the scenario it was put in, and just the scene when you, like, kind of see him for the first time, like, in the real world and not in the picture book, with the what's his name, a roof climbing or ceiling climbing. I was not a fan, man. that was creepy, man. Like, not necessarily scary, but it was like, my dude, no, please.
No, I didn't like that movie. Why? Well, it was scary. Well, it's a horror movie. Yeah, that's why.
like, I just imagine putting myself in a scenario, and I would have shit myself if that happened to me. Because that's such a scenario that I'm very scared of happening.
Yeah, he just goes to bed after watching the movie, and he's later in bed. Yes, trying to sleep. Surprise Babadook, like, surprise motherfucker.
Like, it played very much into one of my fears of, like, having someone, like,
crawling on your roof,
creeping in on you while you're in bed, where you basically can do nothing but put your head under the cover, get too curious, look, and they're still fucking there, and it's getting worse.
I mean,
but yeah.
You're safe under the covers, don't you know that?
But yeah, as earlier mentioned, the main characters are, like, very amazing in the movie, and to a point, because of the realism, it was a bit hard to watch because of, like, that's so awkward, like, that's stale, why is it happening? It made it a bit hard to watch.
I think you've mentioned before that you have a hard time when there's, awkward scenes in a movie when you're watching a movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like when she goes to have an adult playtime?
Yeah, or when the guy from work comes and, like, you're sick, and he's like, no, I'm not, like, caught in a lie very hard. But also that scene also very much. It was like, no, I know what's gonna happen. You're a single mother.
Yeah, like, I'm not depriving you of wanting to do that, but that's kind of no.
Simply also because of what we have seen earlier in the movie with the child constantly going to her bed. It was like, I know what's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
And also the scene where, the birthday scene where she talks with the other mothers. It's like, this is so stale.
But I like how she snaps at them, like, yes.
Yeah, like, yes, I loved it. Because of, like, how trivial they made it. About, like, I talk about struggling women. Let's talk about how much I struggle with simple things.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bitch, sit your little bitch ass fucking down and shut up.
Yeah. But, like, it was very real. Like, the characters are very flawed.
Yeah.
And I like that about them. Like, she's a mother. She's a good mother. Not a perfect mother. She's bad in her places. But, like, in that way, she's very real.
Yeah, they made the character extremely real in that sense that, yes.
Yeah. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're still here. We're
Oh, yeah.
listening.
You just got so quiet all of a sudden. I'm constantly scared of my internet failing me. But yeah, it's very much just in other movies you have a mother, they would do anything for their child to protect them and whatnot, and even if they don't believe them, they were very gentle with them. They don't scream at them, and if they do, it's like, I'm so worried about you. I'm screaming because you scared me and I'm worried, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like in this one, it's very much like I am also very much due to the grief. Like I am so genuinely annoyed by my child right now, and I just want to like sleep.
Yeah, like she is completely sleep deprived because he is constantly on her, constantly touching her, constantly sleeping in her bed. Like you see in the early at the start of the movie, he basically grabs her neck. How comfortable is that when you try to fucking sleep?
Yeah, and like she's very much human in the way she is as the character, and he also, with his like very childlike innocence, but also awareness that things are bad.
Yeah.
And also just his very openness to talk about taboo subjects that like an adult would feel weird talking about.
Yeah.
Especially strangers. But something a child can just blur out most of the time.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack and just the background noises was... that was some good shit. Like, when... A few scenes when Samuel is in trouble, you can hear, like, the echoing background of... I think it's him saying mom. Like, very much in the background, like... if you don't pay attention to it, you might not hear that it says mom. And it's very much... I felt like that was very well put there in its places. And just when the Amelia is like descending deeper and deeper into the Babadook madness, and the whisper starts in the background, like, ooh, it's very tone setting, especially when all of a sudden they go quiet. It puts you on edge. So I like the acting, the background noises. Like, as earlier mentioned, it's not a perfect movie, but it's very well made for what it was made for. And yeah, very sad about the dog.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised that Angel didn't mention him.
I don't really like small dogs.
No,
I like
but it's still a
Charlie,
dog.
Yeah, it is, but it's basically a fucking rat.
It was a good boy. It protected Sam while he was sleeping, and was trying to protect his family. And for what? To get strangled.
Strangled?
Wow.
Didn't she snap his neck?
She snapped his neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was partially strangled before the snapping, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't, or rather I can't remember if I was thinking about the soundtrack and the background noises actually.
I actually didn't.
Yeah, well, it was a week since I saw the movies. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I've been watching 7 shitty werewolf movies in between, so it's kind of hard to remember.
Yeah, no, I watched it at 5 in the morning today, because, yeah.
Fuck getting into bed early.
Yeah, exactly.
I was getting up at 5. But yeah. The Babadook's voice, though.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of
that was
nothing.
creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he have a really raspy voice? Like,
Yeah. He sounded like he had been smoking for the last 30 years.
Yeah. I didn't expect the Babadook to have an actual voice with all the whispering and whatnot in the background. So I didn't think it was actually gonna manifest voice-wise and just be both in the head and visual. But it was oh so welcome with how creepy it was. Together with everything else. So yeah, I will, similar to Augie put it, no, Joseph. Augie's not even on this episode.
No.
I will put it on a 7 out of 10.
Okay, right under me.
Yeah.
I was thinking about giving it a 7 out of 10, but yeah,
As Angel mentioned with the child actor and the diagnosis, it was like in the back of my head, but not as full on as it was with Angel. But it was very well portrayed without actually saying anything about it, which I thought about.
Yeah, I didn't think about it at all while I was watching it, but I can see what Angel means now when I start to think about everything that happens in the film. It makes sense to the character.
Yeah, I think I also recognize it a tad bit because of I have a brother, and it reminded me a bit of my childhood, in a way.
I was just about to say,
Every
yes. You had a male brother. Yes.
Nice. A brother of the male variety.
Yes. Anyways.
So yeah, that's why I think I recognized it also as a diagnosis. But at the very same time, I felt like I wouldn't have the same patience the mother had with the child.
So you're on with me and Ada about pushing that kid into oncoming traffic then?
Yeah. Again, I think it's because of my brother that I have that outlook.
Okay, so you want to push your brother out into oncoming traffic as well?
Let's change the subject, shall we?
Somebody starts
No
sweating
comments.
profusely. We're on to his plans.
Due to legal reasons, I am not gonna deny or accept that answer.
Yes. I see.
Okay, should we move into some background, perhaps?
Yes, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any?
Yes. One of the few things I have is the fact that it's very odd, and I don't know if it really is a trivia, but in 2016, the Babadook became a queer icon.
Yeah,
I had no
read
idea about that.
Yeah. Which is why it most likely bled into me getting to know about it. But it was just funny to like read about it.
I had no
see
idea
it.
that was a thing, actually.
It became a thing due to the fact that someone jokingly said that the Babadook was gay, and I think it became a thing even more because of how many people, I'm not gonna say it, but I think it's straight people, that was like butthurt about it. Like, how can he be gay? Like, what? And everything. And that just made people more like, he's a gay. Like, that's a gay movie. Did you see that movie?
Okay.
Did we watch the same movie? He made a book for this whole shit. That's gay as fuck. Like,
Alright.
they just leaned into it for shits and giggles, and just because of how mad it made other people.
Yeah.
And at some point, the Babadook just became a gay icon, and I think in like the US on a Pride parade, the Babadook was just everywhere.
Yeah,
Alright.
I think he became some like a gay meme for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't.
He very much.
Yeah, I didn't read into much of it, but I read some headliner about it.
Yeah, it very much became a gay meme. Which is why if you look up the Babadook, even today you'll see the Babadook in a like rainbow background.
Yeah.
Which is I live for that kind of humor.
I mean, go for it. Like,
Yeah. And
while we're just
yeah.
touching upon that that subject about the Babadook being gay, I don't see the problem in it.
no.
Really.
No.
I mean, we got other horror icons like Freddy. He was sorta, or well, they touched upon homosexuality in not Friday the 13th. A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. It's that movie is considered one of the gayest horror movies ever made, and I personally, and I'm straight, think that is a very entertaining movie.
Yeah, no, I mean the LGBTQ mafia, and so I'm just like, go for it.
Yeah, but I don't see why people get upset about things like that. I mean, come on, it's a fictional character. Who cares?
Yeah, some people are just so adamant in their ways that if they like a character, it cannot be queer, like, whatsoever. Because suddenly they don't like it anymore.
No, it's like suddenly they also have to become gay to like the character.
Yeah, that's just stupidity.
Yeah, that's prime time stupidity right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
did you have anything else, Sammy?
a few other things I have is that there will never be a sequel to this movie due to the rights to the movie is owned, I think, by the director Jennifer Kent, by the way, which we should recognize as like a female director made a very successful movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, due to her owning the movie rights, it will never be a sequel because I don't have it up anywhere, but she said something about like this movie doesn't need a sequel, so it won't
really
get
doesn't.
one.
It can do just fine on its own. Like
Yeah.
the way it ends, there's clearly cut off. Like this is not gonna be a sequel. They're getting help. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
It would be if the Babadook attaches itself to someone else, but why would he? Because he basically has gotten himself a family because they're feeding him, they're taking care of him. And they're validating that he is there, he's a thing.
Also, in the child book, it says that once he has attached himself to someone, he will never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make any sense if he attached himself to someone else.
Yeah, it's like I think the rhyme in the book, if it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing about that book, I think early on when they made the movie, or after its release, you could buy that pop-up book.
Yeah. They released this limited edition of it. I think it was limited to 9,000 books.
Yeah, it would have been so cool to have it because like it's so well made. And two other things I have is about the name, the Babadook. It could be read in Hebrew, and in Hebrew apparently it could mean like he is coming for sure, which is well considering the like book he made. Like, yeah, that's That's pretty menacing of a name.
Yeah.
But also, the choice of the name for the Babadook was picked because of like how silly it was. Like the Babadook.
Yeah.
Because it is something I think Jennifer Kent mentioned is something like something a child could come up
Oh
with.
yeah.
It's very fitting for a character in a children's book, and it's something that a child could like. This is my imaginary friend, Babadook. Like, it's a nonsensical name. It's very silly, and it's original to the movie also because of like the character Mr. Babadook was made solely for this movie alone and not derived from any other material.
Yeah.
When I know the look may have been inspired by something else, but it was originally made for this movie alone. It is also very nice.
I don't know if you have this as your background, but the Babadook is also an anagram of a bad book.
Ooh.
And the name Babadook was inspired by the Serbian word for boogeyman, which is Babaruga.
Oh, right, nice. I did not have that.
Okay. Was there everything you got, or?
I'm looking at what I have.
Okay, sorry.
I don't remember his name or what he said about it, but I think the creator or director of The Exorcist found this movie very scary.
William Friedkin is his name.
Yeah.
He's the director of 1973's The Exorcist, yes.
Yeah. And I feel like if that is to sing anyone's praises, like he is the person to do it because of the iconic movie he has made. And like that is a very good praise
Yeah.
from a person that is well versed in the art. And one of my we can go between each other if you want to, so that I don't take all of the time.
Okay. Well, the budget was $2 million, American dollars. About 30,000 of those was raised via Kickstarter, and most of the funds raised from Kickstarter were channeled toward the art department. And the worldwide gross was about $10.5 million US. So it made a pretty big profit considering the low budget.
Nice. I just found what I just found what the director had said about the movie. I've never seen a more terrifying film than The Babadook.
I wouldn't agree with him, but yeah, I don't know if he has any, personal experience with diagnosis or something. I don't know.
Well, considering the movie he made, I think that it's very understandable why he would find it scary because of the movie he made, which is not like very like it's not what most people would find scary, but it is to some people scary.
Yeah, to each their own.
The Exorcist back in 1973 was a fucking scary movie. But we're creeping up on its 50th anniversary, so The Exorcist today is more. It's not scary anymore, not in my opinion, at least.
No.
But I think it's a very good movie because it's well acted and everything, and we should cover that at some point on the show.
I think we're already done. Augie picked it at some point.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I was on. we talked about that.
Okay, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm gonna go and stand in.
Shame on you.
I'm gonna go and stand in the corner over here.
Shame on you. Go to the shame corner.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on my way. Do you have anything else, Sammy?
One of the last things I have is that 9 years before the movie was made, another short film was made in 2005 called Monster, made by Jennifer Kent, I believe. And she called it the baby Babadook
Yep.
of the movies.
The Babadook.
Because-
the Babadook is based on Monster, really.
Yeah, because I think it's just the concept that she liked and she wanted to further expand upon it in the Babadook. And she simply tried it out in the short film she did. Which I think is like 10 minutes long or something.
Yeah, I think so. I've never seen it, but yeah. Okay, according to director Jennifer Kent, the Babadook was designed based on stills from the long-lost film London After Midnight from 1927, which starred Lon Chaney. Jennifer Kent also originally wanted to film solely in black and white, as she wanted to create a, in quotations, heightened feel that is still believable. And she has also cited The Thing, Halloween, Les Yeux Sans Visage, I don't know what that is, something French, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shining, and Let the Right One In, as well as Vampire and Nosferatu as influences on the film.
How about that?
Yeah. I got one more thing if you don't have anything else to...
I have one last
Okay,
thing to mention.
go ahead.
And that is, for anyone wondering, or which is none, but the child actor Noah Wiseman, who starred in the movie, had a, as one would expect, a very toned down version made with him in it, because they didn't show him any of the like graphic scenes or anything, and every scene that the mother would shout abuse at the kid, they would simply replace him with an adult on their knees who she screamed at instead. Because Kent explained the kiddie version of the plot to Weissman. I said, basically, Sam is trying to save his mother, and it's a film about the power of love, is what she explained to Weissman about the movie. Like, that's the plot of the movie. And she didn't want to destroy a child's childhood and, like, mental wellness for the sake of a movie.
Understandable.
Which is why she made this kid-friendly version. Which is very, like, just honorable
It's understandable.
to do. Yeah.
No, fuck that. Destroy the kid's childhood.
Curb stomp it!
And I think... Wow. I think, just to mention that, that may also be why the acting of the child is so great, because in the movie it's about a kid that loves their mom and wants to save their mom, and by keeping the child actor in the beliefs that that is what it's all about, and not talking about how the mother is possessed and trying to kill him, it's very easy to get that across if, like, both actors are viewing it from a different standpoint, which makes it even more genuine and innocent. But yeah.
Okay, the last thing I got is when director Jennifer Kent was asked where the idea for the Babadook, and I kind of guess Monster as well, where the idea came from, she said that and I quote, "I have a friend who's a single mother whose son was traumatized by this monster figure that he thought he saw everywhere in the house. So I thought, what if this thing was real on some level? So I made Monster in 2005 about that idea. But I couldn't leave it alone. I kept coming back to it, and that led to the Babadook. So,
Yeah.
I think that's everything we got on the film.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. For once.
But it was nice to talk about.
Yeah.
It became a lot once two people did the job.
Yeah.
But yes. Does anyone have anything else they want to mention? Any particular scenes or anything else?
No.
Everyone said their piece?
Yeah, I think so. I usually come up with something more after we stopped recording. So I will probably do that this time around as well. But yeah, for now, no.
Just pretend that we've stopped recording.
Do you have any questions in that case?
No, I don't think so.
Fair. Well then. What are we playing out with? Let's start with that before we reveal the next episode.
Yeah, Argyle Goolsby, Mr. Babadook, is the outro track of this episode.
Lovely. And who wants to reveal the next episode?
Purr, motherfucker.
Movies.
I heard a little purring.
Yeah. I it might be heard in the audio, but my cat is here. He jumped up on the...
I can hear the purring now as well.
I can see it on the audio file sometimes.
Yeah, it's a purr, motherfucker.
It's my cat Otto.
He's a fat man.
He's the fat man. He's a fat boy.
Oh,
but yes.
Okay, moving on from that. The next episode will be the Christmas episode. And
it's a double feature.
Oh yes, it is. It's been a long time since we did a double feature, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't remember the last one we did.
I think it was last Christmas, actually.
It might have been, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking in the list. Yeah. Anyway, the next episode will be the Christmas episode, and we are covering, I think it's from 2007, the French extreme horror Christmas movie Inside, and 2015's Krampus, the big budget Krampus movie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, look forward to that episode. But it is now time to say goodbye to the good people.
Yep.
Followed by silence.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, good people.
Yeah, goodbye, and thank you for listening. And if you want to see more episodes, why don't you subscribe to notice when we upload? Because it is not regular. Let me tell you that.
And you might get purr, motherfucker.
Yeah. But as said, thanks for listening and goodbye.
The silence was excruciating.